Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Coffee Talk. I'm super excited today because my husband went out and decided, Ashley needs something. What he didn't know is I've probably dreamt of having one of these my entire life. He got me a microphone. What? So anyway, what he doesn't know is he was fulfilling a lifelong childhood dream of mine. And since I can't sing very well at all, this works out well to be able to do talks and maybe put it on a podcast. We'll see about that. Anyway, if you're here with us, grab the chat. Make sure you know where it is so you can interact, because I'm going to talk a little bit today, and I'm probably going to ask you for your feedback on a bunch of things. Patty says, fantastic. Thanks, Patty. It's super cool. I'm like a little kid in a candy shop right now, to be honest with you. Hold on a second. Let me make this. There we go. Okay, so couple updates and announcements. Number one, berry flavored Energize came out. So if you didn't get it, make sure you get it. I still have not tried it, but a whole bunch of people on our team tried it last night. They were like raving about it, and they even mixed it with lemon and said it was amazing. I'm a little upset because I didn't get it yet. I thought it was in the mail. I ran downstairs after everybody was talking about it, and the box was from Amazon, not from Beachbody. So that's okay. It was my microphone. We're all good. Secondly, if you did not get this, and we're actually going to be talking about this today, but if you did not get Alana's You Can Drop It book, I highly recommend it. And I think, like right now you buy it through Amazon, but I'm pretty sure very soon it'll be in our coach office. And so you can probably get a discount if you're a coach then. I'm not really positive about that. We'll see. But you can recommend it to your challengers, your customers, your coaches, and get it from your website. So you would probably be getting some sort of like bonus for that. I'm not really sure. I'm going to keep my eye out and let you know. But it will be available in our teambeachbody.com shopping site. So we'll be able to get that way, which is really cool. But in the meantime, I highly suggest getting it and then going on Amazon and giving a great review, because the better, seriously, this thing has her way of eating has changed my life. And we're going to go over this a little bit, but if it changed your life in any positive way, please go on Amazon and give her an awesome review. Okay. So I want to share something with you. Hold on a second. I want to make sure we're not getting some feedback here. There we go. Okay, so I want to share something with you guys about quarantine. So when quarantine started, and I live in Pennsylvania, I'm not sure where you're from, but in Pennsylvania, we're still going through this. In the area of Pennsylvania I'm in, we're still in red, I think. Right? We're not yellow yet. We're red. So the rest of the country, half of it's like yellow, some of it's green. We're in red. Okay. So because of that, I gotta share with you my weight loss quarantine journey. Okay. So when quarantine started, my husband and I were like, okay, we're going to take this super seriously, and we are going to cook, and we are going to do awesome. And we did. I lost 8 pounds, and I was super, super excited. Right? The following week came out, and they're like, we're quarantined longer. And I was like, yay, Starbucks is open. And I did not do as well. Gained all 8 pounds plus 2 back for a total of 10. So now I'm up, right, from before. So then I was like, okay, listen, obviously what I was doing is not sustainable. And sustainability is something that I really want to be able to live. I want to live a lifestyle, right? So then I revisited Alana, grabbed her book, right? Started revisiting her content. And I love that her reasons, like her things around eating, because here's the deal. She lost 100 pounds herself, right? She grew up as a very overweight child. So she dealt with that as well, over 100 pounds overweight. And she took it upon herself to figure out how to eat, right? And then, her story is amazing. If you didn't read it, go get it. But she was like 8 years old when they sent her to fat camp, she said, right? So, and then she went every summer after that. And so she kind of had this really awesome positive experience around that camp, which is really cool. And she kind of made it a lifelong mission to help other people to live healthy lifestyles, lose weight if they want, feel amazing, and really have like the energy that she has figured out how to have herself. And so she took it upon herself to learn at the, like in high school, how to keep the weight off, because she used to like lose weight over the summer at camp, come home, gain it over the school year plus some, go back to camp, lose weight, come home, gain weight. So she was like the epitome of yo-yo dieting, right? And she decided after many, many years that enough was enough, and she was going to learn how to do this. Not only did she learn how to do it, she went to school for nutrition, dietitian, and then she got her master's afterwards. And then UCLA in California said to her, hey, why don't you run this seminar, this session, this semester-long class for all the people who work here, and we'll make a weight loss class, right? And so she did this for 10 semesters, and every time she like tweaked it a little bit, and the first anybody who went into the class had to have had a pre-qualification of needing to lose 40 plus pounds, right? And so every time she did this class, the first time, she used her own like knowledge from education, of her education, and then used her own experience to create like a course. And the first semester, the average weight loss was 12 pounds, but she wasn't excited about that. So she tweaked it every single time. And what she realized is that the education of what people were eating was important, but more important was figuring out the environment and habits and mindset around eating. That was the more important. And every time she tweaked the mindset piece, and every time she tweaked all of the environment piece, those two things together, she found her people got way better results. And then her average came out to, I think it was like 24 pounds by the end of having those semesters. Now she's a highly sought after nutritionist in California, in Los Angeles, and then Beachbody grabbed her, and they were like, listen, we need you. We need you in our company. We need you to help others. Our mission is to help others live a healthy, fulfilling life and achieve their goals. And we know that you can do that with us. So we need you. And what they did is they partnered up and created a full program around it. So why I'm telling you this, because Alana has so much experience, and her knowledge of food is important, but she has found out a way to really bring in other aspects that help people stick with something over time and make it sustainable. And that was her thing, is it has to be easy and it has to be sustainable, or else I'm not going to do it, or other people aren't going to do it. And so she did. She went across and did that. So here's the thing. Oh, I lost my page. I'm going to have to find it. She wrote something in this book, and it's really not that huge groundbreaking thing, but it changed my perspective a couple weeks ago, and I'm going to share it with you. It made a big deal for me. And the reason why it made a big deal for me is because when I gain 10 pounds in 2 weeks, I'm like instantly expecting to lose 10 pounds in 2 weeks. It's this mind thing that I do with myself, even though I know it doesn't have to be that way. I know that sometimes it takes longer. It doesn't matter. That's how I am. And so then I set these unrealistic expectations for myself. And then when I try to hit those expectations and I don't, I get very angry, and it becomes this like cycle. Do you hear me? Is anybody else like that? Can you just comment in here? Because I need to know I'm not alone. I need to know I'm not alone. I see some head nods, but just grab the chat, comment in there, and let me know that I'm not alone. And here's the thing, being a coach, it like sometimes makes it worse for me. Sometimes, not a lot, but sometimes it makes it worse because I'm like, oh, I know what to do. I'm just going to do it. And then when it doesn't happen so fast, I'm like, why am I not just doing it? Right? So I help all these other people. They do it. Why can't I do it? Right? It can become a thing sometimes for me. So Sheila says, not alone. Me too. Melanie says, I totally do that too. Good. And I mean, not good, but I'm glad I'm not alone. Samantha says, I do it. Patty says, if you live with my hubby, it's comfort food. Yes, comfort food. Well, I mean, we need comfort food right now, right? So, okay, here's the deal. She said this silly little thing that changed changed my perspective, and it's all I needed. And I was like, oh, and then all of a sudden it clicked in my head, and I'm like, okay, I'm just going to do this, right? So she has the 3 modes of 2B mindset. And I got to say something, this really relates to any kind of food change, lifestyle change, nutrition change, any of them, right? It's on page 12 and 13 if you have your book. Okay, so 1, she breaks it down into 3 phases. The first phase is weight loss mode. The second phase is melting mode. And the third phase is maintenance mode. Now, we're always taught that the first 2 weeks you lose a lot of weight, and then it starts to like peter off a little bit, right? And so that's, I think, another reason why I had this mindset, like, I'm going to drop 5 pounds in a week or 2, right? I think that's where my mindset was. However, she kind of gave me a sucker punch. She's like, no, dude, the first phase, weight loss mode, has an expected duration of 3 to 6 weeks of full focus. Now, she doesn't bold that, but I read it as full focus, right? And expected weight loss, 0.5 to 2.5 pounds per week. Let me repeat that. First 3 to 6 weeks of full focus, 3 to 6 weeks of full focus. Expected weight loss, 0.5 to 2.5 pounds per week. Are you picking up what I'm throwing down here? Like this, I was like humbled a little bit. I'm like, okay, noted, right? Second phase, melting mode, expected duration, 2 to 60 weeks, 2 to 60 weeks. Expected weight loss, 1 to 3 pounds, 1 to 3 pounds per week. Oh, wait, the second phase, they're losing more weight per week than the first weight phase? I was really confused. I'm like, really? Never really thought about it that way, right? Maintenance mode, expected weight loss, a lifetime of happiness is what it says on here, okay? So why is this messing with my head is what I was thinking. And it makes complete sense. She said, listen, in your first phase, okay, and I do this, I'll read, learn, and then go to implement. And when I go to implement, I'm like, I know everything. I'm just going to implement it, and it's going to happen right away, right? And what she's saying is, no, you learn, read, right? But starting is a whole other learning curve. And it takes 3 to 6 weeks to figure out how you're going to make it work, right? So it's like this trial and error time frame. And you can't get down on yourself for not losing 5 pounds a week during a trial and error time frame. So this really works in any kind of nutrition plan you're talking about, whether it's fixate, 2B mindset, doesn't matter. You need to learn what's working for you. And in that learning phase, in that learning curve, after you start, not after you learn, after you actually start implementing, that 3 to 6 weeks learning curve is where you're going to figure out how you make it work out for you, and not getting down on yourself for the data, the standing on the scale and figuring out if it's working for you. Every single morning with 2B Mindset, I write down my number. After and before, honestly, I did this program years ago, and I still would be like, damn it, it didn't go down, right? If it didn't go down, or dang it, it didn't go up. I mean, it went up, I'd get upset. Not with myself, but I'd get upset with the program, right? I'd be like, I did everything and it didn't work, right? But what I realize now is like, oh my gosh, she's right. It takes 3 to 6 weeks to even figure out how to make this work for me. And all I can do is get feedback to figure out if that thing I just did is working or not. So for example, 2 days, do I have my, where is it? There it is. Hold on. 2 days. 2 days ago, I lost weight. Okay. I was down, Let me go here. Okay. 2 days ago, I was 145.6 in the morning. Okay. And then the next day I was 144.4. And then the next day I was 143.8, trending in an awesome direction, right? The following day, this morning, I was 144. So I'm up 0.2 pounds from yesterday after a trend word down, right? So instead of getting upset about it though, I had to just go back to the following previous 3 days and just kind of see where was it that I think might have made the difference. And for me, last night, we didn't cook dinner. We bought dinner. And I was like, well, I'm doing good. I bought a salad, a Chick-fil-A salad, right? But Chick-fil-A salad still has corn on it and still has like fried chicken. I didn't get grilled. I got fried, right? Thinking, it's not going to make that big of a difference. I did use half the salad dressing, but everything else was pretty much the same of what I've been doing. And I realized, okay, I'm not going to get down on myself for this. It was a choice. I made the choice and I enjoyed it. That's great. But now I know that if I have Chick-fil-A salad at night for dinner, either the salt or the friedness or the corn, one of those things is not helping me earn a weight loss day, right? Get a weight loss day. So I'm not going to do that again. I might try one day having it for lunch and seeing if it makes a difference having it for lunch versus dinner, but I'm not going to get upset with myself. But I'm going to note to myself, that's probably not the best if I want a weight loss day. Now, if I just want to enjoy it and I don't care if it's a weight loss day, I will, right? But if I want a weight loss day, that's probably not the best way to do it. So it's just feedback, right? And I have to understand that the expectation of those first couple weeks, 3 to 6 weeks, is 0.5 pound to 2.5 pounds per week weight loss. Now, if you end up losing 5 pounds, score. But if you're not tracking it, what does it matter? Because you can't go back and see what you did to repeat it, right? So you got to track it. If you're not tracking it, you won't know what you did in those 7 days that made you lose 5 pounds, right? So there's a really big reason for tracking, and it's not just holding yourself accountable. It's figuring out what was working and what was not working during that time frame, okay? So anyway, I hope maybe this gave you, if just one of you got some little aha, some little thing, then maybe it was worth me repeating that. But anyway, I'm excited for these 3 to 6 weeks. Oh, and by the way, it also helps me big time sticking with what I'm doing. Oh, well, if it takes 3 to 6 weeks to really figure out if it's working or not, and then after that is where I'm going to really get results, like true results, then I'm not going to sit here and be like, well, I did 3 weeks of 21-day fix and follow 2B mindset, and why didn't I lose 12 pounds, right? I'm just going to keep going. And I'm going to see what those next 2 to 60 weeks look like with this program. Now, she said 60 weeks. Obviously, people have like 100 pounds to lose, but I'm just saying, like, it's those weeks after you learn how to implement it in your life that you're actually going to see bigger results, right? So keep that in mind. Maintenance mode, by the way, she talks about how it's just an awesome time to be in because she does suggest tracking like 2 weeks into maintenance mode, but then you can really kind of put your tracker down. But you can pick it back up if for some reason you see yourself like moving to like over 5 pound weight gain or something, and you're starting to creep up, then you grab your tracker and just start back up with your tracker, right? So keep those things in mind. Kaylee said, same, I got the same yesterday. I was up 0.4. Kaylee, be honest, did you have a beer, right? My vice, we joke back and forth. My vice is like so many things, and she only has one. No, I'm just kidding, Kaylee. All right, Melanie, I wish I would have read that before I started to be. Maybe I would have been so upset with myself. It's true. It's true. I was the same way. So reread this. It's page 12 and 13. By the way, before I move on to the next section that I wanted to talk about, Kaylee grabbed onto an opportunity, and I'm really, really excited. And if you guys were on the call yesterday, please give me some feedback of how it went. Yesterday, Kaylee went on Zoom and opened it up to everybody and did a meal planning. That was yesterday, right? Yeah. A meal planning Zoom call, guided meal planning. And I really want to know how you guys liked it. Give me some feedback. Did it help you? We did have a little glitch. It wasn't able to be recorded, but next week it will. Kaylee, maybe you can let me know. I think you're doing it next week. Christina said she rocked it, shared so many insights. I love that. Patty's super disappointed she missed it. Kristen, I really wanted to be on the call, but she missed it. So we're going to have to make sure that we can record it next time. But I know that was like just a technical glitch yesterday. Melanie said it was super helpful. So anyway, yeah, Kaylee, I can't see you right now. I think you're on here. Let me know if you're doing it next week. Are you on here? Yeah, you are. Okay, so next thing that I wanted to share with you. Hi, sweetheart. Bye-bye. Nope, you gotta leave. I'm on a call. Love you. Okay. The next section I wanted to talk about a little bit is emotional eating A to Z. She brings this up because, and I'm so glad she did, because she, in the book, she actually goes deeper into things than she does in the program. So get the program, do the program definitely, because you learn a lot in the program. But the book, I feel like she also goes a little bit deeper. And in this section, emotional eating A to Z, she brought up some things that I was like, oh, holy cow, that is me. I didn't even know, right? So here are some. I want to share them with you, and I would love to get your feedback. So grab that chat. Tell me if you can relate to these. I'm going to repeat each one of them. I'm going to read through them. But man, she like hit the nail on the head for a bunch of these. Okay, so anger eating. That is me. That is me to a T. When I am mad, I'm mad and I go to the pantry, or I'm mad and I open up the fridge, or I'm so mad I leave the house and I go somewhere else to eat, right? I have already gone to the grocery store, bought a bag of chips, ate the entire chips on the way home, right? So tell me, do you anger eat? Yeah, Christina says, talk about getting called out. Milkshake run. I deserve this treat. Everybody's pissing me off today. Love it. I mean, I don't love it, but I love it. Okay, avoidance eating. When you have deep emotional latent issues, like if you have something that really you should be going to a psychiatrist or a psychologist to talk about, but you're just kind of eating it instead. You're eating your emotions to try to push other things away, like passing of a loved one or dysfunctional relationships, right? So you're eating instead of facing that emotion. Comfort eating of all kinds. She brings up these kinds, right? I never saw her like break it down. On airplanes, PMSing, under the weather. I mean, all of these are comfort eating, right? Companion eating. I think of this for anybody who's in a new relationship, like dating. You know, you like get all svelte and fit, and then you like find this guy, and you're like, oh, we're so great, we love each other. Let's go out to eat every single night. Every night. Every night, let's go to a restaurant. Every night, let's get a dessert. Every night, let's have some wine. You know why? Because we love each other because we're both foodies. I might be talking about me and my husband when we were dating, right? Okay, so companion eating. That's what makes me think of companion. Elevated eating, celebration, right? Like when you don't eat from sadness as much as you eat for pleasure. This stood out to me. For instance, if food was always a reward for you as a kid, that might stick with you as an adult. Like, oh, you got good report card grades. Where do you want to go? Should we get ice cream? Right? And all kinds of things like that. Oh, it's the last day of the soccer game. Let's go have Menchie's. Oh, it's the second last day of the soccer game. Let's go have Menchie's. It's the first day of the season. Let's go have Menchie's. This is like the things we say a lot. Okay. Fear of the unknown eating. Maybe you have a relative who's sick and you don't know the diagnosis. Maybe you are sick and you don't know the diagnosis. That's a big one for me. Like, just I'm worrying about something and I can't get the answer right now, but I know I'm getting it tomorrow. I'm like eating until tomorrow, right? That would be another one probably right now, quarantine. When we first started quarantine, it's like, well, nobody knows what the heck is going on, and nobody knows when we're getting out of this. Nobody knows, so let's just eat, right? FOMO eating. This is another one when you're like maybe at a party or there's like a cake and you're like, well, I gotta have a piece. Everybody else is having a piece and they're talking about how good it is. And I don't really want a piece, but it sounds so good and I don't want to miss out on that amazing, delicious cake, right? Forced eating. This is, you know, when you go to your family member and they're like, you gotta eat this. It's really good. I made it for you. Eat it. So when you feel obligated to eat something. That's also, I feel like another one is like if you had a child, a baby, or if there was a death in the family and people are constantly bringing food over for you and you feel like obligated to eat that really, really like thick casserole dish that you don't even know what's in it, looks delicious, don't really want it, but it's there because they gave it to you, and how dare you not eat it because they made it for you out of love and it was really sweet, so I should really definitely eat that, right? That would also probably be guilty eating. Oh no, I think guilty eating would be what did they say? Fear of getting thinner. So like if somebody else is trying to lose weight and you are kind of already there and you don't want to lose more than them, I think that's what she was talking about. So you sabotage yourself so that you don't make them feel bad, right? Identity eating, this is one for me. This is a big one for me because I've always been a big eater. Like I can always eat more than everybody else. I'm not tiny, but I'm small and I could eat way more than like the biggest guy there. And so I've been able to eat tons of food. I could do the challenges at restaurants where I can eat a full pound burger and still probably eat more, right? And I've always been that way, and my family has always been that way. So it's kind of like an identity thing, right? And so if I don't finish my plate, I feel kind of weird. I'm like, well, that's not like me. I'm a big eater, right? So that's identity eating. Innocent eating, like, I'll have a cookie. It's not gonna make or break me. Or I'll have Chick-fil-A salad. It's not gonna do anything wrong. One cookie is not bad. Two cookies, it's not gonna do anything. I'll have an ice cream, no big deal, right? This part I have underlined. It says kids don't need a mom who bakes. They need a mom with energy, confidence, and good health. That was like, yeah. Kids don't need a perfect mom. They need a happy and most importantly, healthy mom. So keep that in mind. I know a lot of us, we bake because our kids want to bake something. And instead of finding something that's like healthier that we could bake, we're like, they really want this really, really, really sweet thing that they saw on Tasty, which brings up another one that I really can relate to. And that's, is it in here? I don't know. She brings it up somewhere. She brings it up when she's talking about out of sight, out of mind. That includes social media. You know, when you follow these accounts that like make amazing desserts and you're like, ooh, wow, yum, that looks so good. Well, that actually triggers your brain to want it even later. And I'm hugely guilty of that. Like I just texted my husband a picture of this amazing looking dessert right after we were like, well, we're going to follow 2B mindset and we're not going to have sweets right now. And then I texted him a picture of this dessert. I was like, oh yeah, my faux pas. Let's see. Companion eating when my husband comes home. Oh, Samantha, that's got to be a big one since your husband leaves for like longer periods of time for work. When he comes home, you tend to companion eat with him. That makes sense. Christina, quarantine, fear of known unknown. Yes. Sheila, this is huge for me. My mom makes me feel guilty because I don't bake treats for my kids. Yeah. Don't let her make you feel guilty. I mean, she can try, but don't let her do, like, don't engage. Don't engage with that. And if she wants you to feel guilty, just send them to her house and let her bake the, the cookies with her. A special bonding time for her and them. You don't want to take that time away from her. Oh, yeah. Tell them to eat them. Your kids are older. Tell them to go over there and eat it. No, don't bring that here. Go over there and eat it. It'll be special bonding time for you and them. Self-sabotage eating. She said the example I use is sometimes your phone falls. Oh my gosh. I love this. She goes, for self-sabotage eating, she says the example I use is sometimes your phone falls and your screen cracks. You can either pick it up and get the screen repaired, or you can take a hammer to it and just destroy the thing, right? So that's self-sabotage eating when you like have one or two and you're like, F it, I'm just gonna have the whole bag. And that's what she's saying. Imagine your phone falling and the screen cracks, and instead of going to get it fixed, you're just like, screw it, let me get a hammer and boom, 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 and destroy the darn thing, right? I think that was pretty eye-opening. silence eating. Rather than speaking up, you chow down. So if like something's bothering you or you have an issue with somebody, a relationship issue, instead of speaking up and actually talking to them, talking it out, you just eat it. Spiritual eating would be like if you are, she gives an example of the Jewish community, for example, eating challah bread, maybe a symbol of good fortune. Eating honey on Rosh Hashanah symbolizes sweet New Year. So things that you do spiritually, ritualistically. And then trash can, sense of completion eating. This is a big one for me also. Making sure that you actually finish your plate, complete your plate. There's a couple others: lonely eating, novelty eating, procrastinating. That one was me too. And blah, blah, blah. Novelty eating is another one for me. Anyway, reading about these was really eye-opening. Okay, but what she says afterwards is, surprise, basically, we're all emotional eaters. Like whether we thought we were an emotional eater or not, we are, every single one of us. We can all relate to pieces of this, and that doesn't make us bad. Literally 100% of us are emotional eaters to one degree or another in these things. So one of these is going to relate more to you than others, and that's okay. So what she talks about next is really super important. And I think you guys should go out and get the book and read it and give me some feedback and see what you guys think. But she does go on to explain ways to get around the emotional eating and how to really not get mad at yourself. Ease up on being angry for any of this. Just recognizing it is the first step, and you can't get to the solution without recognizing what you're doing, right? And so I think that's really important to keep in mind. I really want you to go out and get this book. Obviously, I think it's really important. And I would love to talk to you guys more about it in the chat. Please let me know if you already have the book. I want to shout you out. And if you haven't, please go on Amazon and get it now. And we can talk more about it another day, but I really wanted to share those two things with you because they were big aha moments for me. And I think that you're going to get some aha moments out of that as well. Samantha says, I did that with the cooking channel the other day. I'm not sure what you meant by that. Yep. You talked me into it. I just ordered the book. Yes, Samantha. Way to go, girlfriend. Melanie, I'm about halfway through it. Great job, Melanie. I think you're going to get a lot out of it. Let me know if you're getting anything out of it. Amy, me, tons of veggie recipes. They do have great recipes in here. So make sure you are not skipping through that part. And she actually, at first I didn't like the idea, but now I actually do like it. She breaks it up into the actual vegetable. So like there's 4 or 5 ways to make spaghetti squash, or 6 ways, 4 ways to make zucchini. And so she breaks up the different ways to make one specific vegetable, which is really cool. Christina says, I'm halfway through it. Kristen said, I will be ordering it. Would love to read, then give to a friend. Yes, I think you might not want to. You might want to keep it for yourself and just order it for your friend. Just saying. It's up to you. Anyway, love you guys. I'm so glad you joined me this morning. Please make sure that you send this video after it's recorded and sent to you. Send it to the rest of your coaches, challengers, anybody who is interested in losing weight in a sustainable way with being able to get to root causes and creating habits based around healthy habits. And that's it. Love you guys. Let me know if you have any suggestions as to who we can interview next, because I want to interview with someone. I want somebody to tell me their weight loss story or how this system has changed their life. So please let me know if you have someone in mind or if it's yourself. Okay. Love you guys. I'll talk to you soon. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.